The mechanics of birth had to be pre-planned. Again, they are precise and have to happen in the right order without interruption, and are just mind-boggling. To start with, there's an umbilical cord, which is the cord that develops between mother and child, and food and air go down some tubes in the cord from the mother to the child, and there's another tube which takes waste from the baby back to the mother. That all had to work in the first baby that was ever born, otherwise none of us would be here. And when the baby is born, that cord has to break in two, because obviously the child leaves the mother, and so there is left a bleeding wound, and there is a special jelly in our bodies called Wharton's jelly, which goes to the rescue, and it goes and blocks off or clots the blood at that moment of breaking, so that the mother doesn't bleed and the baby doesn't bleed. And it doesn't, that's the only time it ever works. It's nowhere else in the body, and it's from God. Absolutely staggering. Babies develop in a water sac, and that water sac had to be whole straight away, first time round. Otherwise, if it had leaked, the baby would be dead. So that, again, is an absolute miracle that was pre-planned by God. And then when the sac does break, and the water, it's called the afterbirth, the baby has to breathe for the first time on its own. It has to take a gulp of air. And this it's never done before. And its body changes, and valves have to open and shut for the first time ever to let blood go towards their lungs, and for them to get their heart working in a new way. I mean, it is so amazing, and it all has to happen within, well, certainly 2 or 3 minutes, otherwise the baby would die. So this had to be pre-planned and designed by God before the first birth. Male and female cells are different in humans and in mammals and in birds. And strangely enough, it's not the same in reptiles and insects, which adds to the amazingness of God, making us all separate and different. And every female cell in our bodies is different to every single corresponding male cell. Ours are called XX, and men are called XY. And so even our fingers, our thumbs, our brains, our hair, our eyes, we're all different. And therefore, even if people try to change their sex, they can't, because otherwise they'd kill themselves. You can't change all your cells. God made us, and He loves us, and He crafted us in His mind's eye even before the world began. He likes messing about with cells and blood and whatever else we're made of. This is the tools of His trade, because He loves us and He made us and He wants us for Himself.